My name is George Steinmetz. I'm a photographer. I've done, at this point in my life, I've done 4 books. One on Africa, called African Air, one about the Arab world, about the Empty Quarter, the world's largest sand sea, one about all the world's deserts, and my 4th book coming out this year about New York City. What I'd love to do is go out and show people worlds that they can't really see for themselves. And so I do think there's a sense that people feel like everything there is to be seen has been seen, and to that I just say, bullshit. I think that's lazy. And you can go on Google Earth, for example, and you can see virtually the whole Earth, but you saw it, seen from 10 miles up, and at a certain time of day, and you don't know, you're seeing it looking straight down, and you don't know the 3-dimensionality, you don't know what's going on there. And I just think you go out there and see things in your own, and from the right perspective, and there are all kinds of wonderful things to be revealed and understood. And so, to me, people say I think they're being lazy, and they're saying I can sit there find everything on my iPhone, and it's like bullshit today. Go out there and find something fresh. Show me something new. The whole flying thing I got into was quite elaborate, and it took, my first trip in this hair took me weeks of lessons and trips to get that figured out. So a week sometimes just for one picture, trying to, sometimes a lot of it's about waiting. I mean, I'm not one of these guys who sets up, huge sets and lights and things, but just sometimes to get a picture. I want to document reality, and sometimes that takes a lot of effort. I did a story in Milan, a portrait of the city, and I wanted to photograph people shooting up heroin in the subways of Milan, and I had to go. I found out there's one subway station that was really cool because all the junkies were near there and the businessmen were there, and I went there, I think it was 13 times before I got a guy shooting up with a businessman walking by him. But I couldn't, pay the junkies some money. I couldn't do that, so I had to keep going back and back and back and waiting for the reality to reveal itself. Well, I've been detained many times. I only was arrested once. That was in Garden City, Kansas. I spent about 4 hours in jail. I was working on a story for National Geographic about food, about kind of industrial farming, and I was flying over a feedlot. When I was flying, my assistant came on my flight radio and told me that the rancher was very upset, and he wanted me to come down and explain what I was doing. I said, well, tell him what we're doing. I'm working for the Geographic, and so he wants you to come down and ask his permission. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm flying, I'm getting pictures, I'm not going to, and it's like, his airspace is free. If he doesn't like it, he can call the sheriff. So he called the sheriff, and I was arrested when I landed, and I got put in jail. And I got out after 4 hours, and the charges were dropped. And I've been detained in Iran, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, many places, but I never been put in jail. The Arabs are very respectful of foreigners. They would never do that. But in Kansas, I was a stranger. I was a drifter. Photography is changing a lot, and I think it's getting cheapened. I don't want to sound negative, but I think photographs become very ubiquitous. Everybody, a monkey can take a picture with an iPhone. Actually, monkeys have taken pictures with iPhones. They're very valuable pictures, and so photography has become so ubiquitous. You need much less technical skill than you used to have. And for me, it's not about the picture; it's about the idea. People always ask me, like, "What camera do you take that picture?" And I hate that question. You don't go to say, geez, what kind of brush did Rembrandt use? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's about the idea. It's about his vision and what he saw. And I think now I think there's a confusion. People think, photography, iPhoneography, and it's about the medium. And it's not. It's about your idea. And I just think that's what I'm concerned about is that people are, it's cheapening ideas. I think you have to photograph what you're passionate about, and a lot of people say, like, where did you go to photo school, and where did you learn what kind of camera to use? And to me, it's really, I said, it's about ideas and perspective, and everybody has a unique vision, and I love seeing, like, I work a lot for the Geographic, and there was a wonderful collection of odd people who see the world as entomologists who photographs bugs in ways I would never be able to visualize them, and people who, marine biologists who understand the sex life of harp seals, and they can get these wonderful pictures of harp seals mating under the ice and all these weird things. And it's just like, I love seeing the world from all these different perspectives. And I think if you follow your heart, whether it's about science or human relations or whatever, I think there are all kinds of fascinating things to be revealed, but you have to be honest to your own vision. So as a photographer, I think some of the most interesting pictures are people who didn't study photography, they studied something else, and they're using photography as a tool to communicate their worldview or what they see.